What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So Acer is entering the ring with the Nitro Blaze 7 as they officially announce their gaming handheld. And this really isn't a surprise. I've actually been expecting Acer to be next. I'm surprised that they didn't launch something sooner. I know they've been working on something for quite a while. But yeah, they have the Nitro Blaze 7 announced, but we're missing some key things like the price, so we'll talk about that. But we do have some idea of the specs, what the device looks like here, and that type of thing. So I want to get into it, talk about it a little bit. I definitely like competition coming to the space, but this one I'm just not sure yet about. But let's get into it and take a look. We're going to look at an article here from The Verge real quick. We'll go over that, and then I want to talk about this new handheld. All right, let's read over this Verge article, and then we'll get into talking about this new handheld from Acer a little bit. Acer's first handheld gaming PC is the Nitro Blaze. Acer has so far stayed out of the handheld gaming PC race, but that's about to change. It's just announced its first Steam Deck and Asus ROG Ally competitor, the Acer Nitro Blaze 7, which looks like it fits somewhere between last year's ROG Ally and the newer Ally X. Like Asus, but unlike most rivals, it features a 7-inch 1080p VRR IPS screen to keep things smooth, one that refreshes slightly faster at 144 Hz. Acer tells The Verge it's a landscape native screen. It's also got a newer Ryzen 7 8840HS chip, albeit with the same Radeon 7080M integrated GPU as most other Windows handhelds. With 16 gigabytes of 7500 mega transfers per second memory, a 50 watt-hour battery, it's a step ahead of the original Ally's 6400 mega transfer memory and 40 watt-hour pack, and it comes with up to 2 terabytes worth of SSD storage. But with 24 gigs of memory and 80 watt battery pack, the $800 Asus ROG Ally X is currently the Windows handheld to beat, so I suspect this Acer will need to cost quite a bit less to compete, and that I definitely agree with. We'll have to talk a little bit more about that here, but let's finish up the article. The Nitro has no touchpads, but it also unusually has no back buttons. Most PC handhelds now have at least 2 macro keys around the back, but I suspect some people will be happy that it not only has 2 USB 4 ports, but that one of them's on the bottom, much like the Legion Go. Hopefully we'll get our choice of whether to charge and dock from the top or bottom with this PC. Acer says it didn't partner with Microsoft for this one, so I wouldn't expect it to roll out with any major UI improvements for Windows handheld gaming PCs. That said, it does come with a more dedicated mode, switch buttons than most rivals, including a dedicated key to bring up the virtual keyboard. And then we have the whole spec sheet here, which I'll just throw up on the screen. We've already talked about a lot of those as we've gone through it here, but let's talk a little bit more about Acer's new Nitro Blaze 7. So I've had plenty of Acer products in the past, especially some of their laptops many years ago, and while they were always more budget friendly and less expensive, which is why I got them, I never really had any problems with it. So I am expecting this handheld to be maybe more on the budget side of things. There's going to be some shortcuts here on this device. We already can tell some between the shortcut keys, and I'm not sure how the buttons, the sticks, the D-pad, and all that's going to feel, the plastic, the speakers. There's going to be a lot that goes into this that they could really be able to get the price down to something that would be competitive and maybe compelling for some people to buy. But it is up against a lot of competition with things like the Legion Go, the original Ally, the Ally X, the Steam Deck. Next year we have the new MSI Claw coming. Lenovo could be announcing something soon with a refresh or a new Go. So it's going to have to offer something in price because the 16 gigs of RAM, the 7-inch screen, the battery, all that is kind of, there's nothing new in this, and it still is the smaller 7-inch screen and that type of thing. And the device all in all does look a bit smaller and more compact. The buttons are like right above that right stick. There's not as much room there, even though it looks like they put some grip on the back. So I really don't know how this one's going to feel, especially for me grabbing a hold of and playing, but I am interested to try it when it comes out. But the point being, other than the newer chip, which isn't going to offer that much more performance over the existing Z1 Extremes, there's a lot to look into here when it comes to their UI interface that they're going to have on this thing to help it work better with Windows and how the device is going to feel, the quality of the build, all kinds of things here. But I do expect this is going to need to come in at more of a budget price range to really be competitive and compel people to want to pick it up. So I don't know what that range is going to be, but I think if it falls above that $500 to $600 range, it's just not really going to have as much of a place in the market. I'm all for competition. I'm all for a lot more handhelds. It's something I've been waiting years for, and I think we're entering a really exciting place for the handheld PC market. And over the next 5 to 10 years, it's really going to evolve and be pretty interesting, I think. But it's going to be the way companies come out with these devices, it's just some are going to make it and some aren't. And this one, I'm just not sure yet. I think it's really going to depend on that price and how the overall device feels and works. But I definitely am looking forward to getting my hands on it. I'll probably check it out here, do some kind of review, compare it to some of the other devices and that type of thing. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what Acer does here. I can't wait till we get more of an idea of the release, the price, and all that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is definitely one I'll be keeping an eye on just because I'm interested to see what Acer does here. Thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. As always, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.